Good evening, Noswaithar, Croizo, welcome to the channel. This is a new game for me. So, for those of you who've found this video by Googling the name of the game, my name's Fun Ben, and I do various videos, mainly on things like Puzzle Combat, Empires and Puzzles, Warzian Puzzles. Tends to be match 3 multiplayer games, but this is a bit of a departure for me. So I'm doing Warhammer Quest 2, and for those of you who've seen my other videos, this is Warhammer Quest 2. It's a game I thought I'd play. I must admit it was one you had to pay to buy. I think it was $4.99 from Google Play, but I use Google credits because that's the way I roll, as I do try and maintain as far as I can my free player credentials. So this is the game, and it is a Warhammer game. Obviously, the Warhammer Fantasy Battles made by Games Workshops, and when I was younger, I used to have my own little, my own little Warhammer army. I had an army of dwarves and some orcs and goblins and everything else. And, I used to enjoy it. It was set in the old world and everything else. And about 10 years ago, the people who made the Games Workshop decided to destroy the old world and create an entirely new realm called the Realm of Sigmar. For those who've not sort of don't follow Warhammer, which is fine. It's not everyone's cup of tea. But when they did that, I was kind of sad. I'd kind of grown up. My teenage years had been lots of stuff in the old world, and this is a game. Although it's a new game, it is set in the old world. So it's called the End Times. And it's about the end of the old world. The forces of chaos have begun their final assault, and the last stand is coming. Heroes from all races and land are venturing forth, sworn enemies standing shoulder to shoulder fighting the demons of the apocalypse. These are the days of action and adventures. These are the end times. Dum, 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 dum. So in this game, every town and things you have, they pop up like this. So this is a little settlement. It's a refugee camp outside a town that's fallen. You can see that the world is there's lots of flames and things, and the capital of the empire is down here in where is it? Here we are, Altdorf, and you can see that the rivers are running red with blood. It's kind of all falling apart. I can travel over to Altdorf, so here goes my little party is heading off for Altdorf. And you can do quick travel if you want to, but you can see there I am moving across the map, travelling across the Empire, heading towards Altdorf. Obviously, I didn't follow the road. I've gone over the hill, which, as you do. I think quick travel now. Oh, there we are. Periodically, you come to sort of events if you're travelling around. This one says, upon the road is a small shrine covered in melted candles. It's dedicated to Sigmar, but there are also symbols of Tal and Ulrich here too. Will you stop and pray? Yeah, why not? What's the worst can happen? They'll all get killed. That's the worst can happen. The gods hear you, but they aren't your gods. The air crackles with fire and you lose 50% hit points. Nuts. Yep, carry on to Altdorf. So, yep, obviously evil gods taking over. Oh, there's a tinker. Oh, another person. Yeah, let's steal his pack. I'm nicking his pack. Gain medium gold. One of you will grab the pack and runs. The others follow. The tinker does not pursue, but hurls abuse at you. The items are worthless, but there is some gold in the pack, so I gained medium gold. Handy. Yep, let's carry on to Altdorf. So little events happen as you're travelling around. And you get to the big cities. This is the city of Altdorf, and as you can see, it sort of unrolls. There's the city, and in the city you have various buildings you can go to. So you've got a pub where you can buy. Well, it says buy and sell. It's really recruit and sell warriors. So I could buy some warriors. Let's see. So I could get I can't get the ogre or the dwarf because you have to pay extra to unlock them, which is a bit of a swizz, really. But there we are. I could get a Dark Elf Sorceress, I've already got one though, and I could also get an Empire Captain, but I've already got one of them, so I'm not going to buy anybody from there. There is a merchant where you can buy stuff, and there is a training yard where you can upgrade your warriors. So you have to spend, once they've gained a certain amount of experience, you can spend gold to make them into better heroes, and so on and so forth. It's just sort of standardish sort of, RPG kind of territory, really. What we're going to do is just going to have a quick look at one of the missions. Now, there's lots of random missions just keep occurring, and there's also sort of story missions, as you often get. Let's see, I've already got some half plate. Let's go for the Dark Energy Staff. Dark Energy Staff. So again, off we go across the little map. Travelling Priest. Stops and raises a friendly hand. I think I'm going to stay put. I don't want to go near this priest. I don't think he's going to be a genuine priest. Please look for I'm not some dirty thief. Before muttering some words, suddenly your warriors begin to bleed, gain a random injury. Ah, there we are. That's not good. So I'm not having much luck with my random things. Sometimes you get good stuff from the random things. Oh, knife lies atop the bloodied surface. Oh, dearie me. You need a particularly dexterous warrior to steal the knife. No, I'm not stealing that. I haven't got any particularly dexterous warriors. Your warriors... So we carry on. Dearie me. Lots of unfortunate events on the thing. Now, obviously, some of my heroes are a little bit wounded, which is a shame, so they're going to go into the battle injured, having prayed to the wrong gods. You know, it's a mistake we're all going to make once upon a time, at some point in our lives, playing to Sigmar, an altar to Slanesh, or whatever that means. Sort of thing. Anyway, so I'm trying to reclaim the dark energy stuff, and it is quite amusing. It does make me chuckle that these events, they always say, you know, all manner of magical items. This is one such item. The forces of chaos will surely be stronger with it. Destroy the enemy and reclaim the dark energy staff. But in the early stage, I mean, I'm still in the fairly early stages of the game, but the really early stages, it's things like a short sword, a bow and arrow, and it's like, reclaim the bow and arrow. Dum 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 dum. Anyway. So here we are. Now, it reminds me a little bit of Hero Quest. So you've got the dungeon, and you can do the sort of standard things where you can zoom in and out, and you can rotate it, obviously. Woo! Sorry, not trying to get everybody feeling sick. And you can change the camera angle as well, which is a little bit harder to do on tablet. There we are. So you can have like a sort of low angle view, so you can get a better view of your heroes as they're moving around. So my heroes are a curious mixture, because I've got an Imperial Captain, a Vampire, a Wood Elf, and this Dark Elf Sorceress. So I've got a few different characters. And when we go in here, oh, look, there's loads of these. These guys are Beast Men. So I'm mainly going to go for letting the Beast Men come to me, because that seems to work quite well generally. And obviously I'm slightly wounded from all the other bad stuff that happened. There we are. Oh, he's not very tough, that Beastman. He's just been killed. I will get my Elf Sorceress. I do have some magical healing potions, so she can restore some of the hit points I lost. Boo, 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 boo. Try and keep my guys alive. You know, it's a standard thought. Very much reminded me of Hero Quest, that sort of classic game. It was also a PC game as well, or computer. It might have been Amiga as well. A very early game, a long time ago, turn-based movement and so on and so forth. And in that, you could be either like a barbarian or you could be barbarian, dwarf, wizard, and various other characters. But it's similar sort of aesthetic, really, I guess, to it. So I'm quite enjoying it. It just seems like a bit. It's just a jolly little bit of fun. Like, you know, it's not super taxing. It's quite straightforward to play. The one thing I will say I am a bit disappointed with is there's not really much in the way of interactive furniture around the levels. So most of the things you can see, the only things you can really interact with are the enemy mobs, and they're not particularly exciting to interact with. You basically just hit them until they die. Well, that's the general theory. Ambushed by giant spiders. So this happens periodically. You get ambushed by various other monsters that appear out of nowhere. My Imperial Captain may as well use his magical fire hammer. There we are, splat. Dark Elf can use her magic. Blasting the spiders. This elf can switch to his sword now, because he can... There we are. Get his sword into play. Cut the spiders down. Oh, periodically you do get this thing called a death blow, which is where you sort of can deal double damage, although sometimes you still miss. There we are. So it's all the spiders are dead. Most of the time you don't get ambushed by really tough creatures. It's just more annoying than anything else. And every once in a while you come to one of these gates that will let you into the next stage of the level. So yes, so like I say, I'm quite enjoying this at the moment. It's sort of early days. I'll probably do a few videos about it, and sort of as things get a bit further into it, and I get a little bit more advanced and get a better idea of what I'm doing and everything else. Right, I'm going to let my elf take care of the rats, because he's quite quick. He can go and kill lots of rats fairly quickly. yeah, he can deal with these rats, and then he can catch the others up because he's my fastest hero. Meantime, this guy up here can knock down. Oh, I was going to say knock down this beastman, but he's not doing a good job of that. There we go. Carry on. A couple of squares. Right, let's get a few more people forward. It's quite a narrow passageway, obviously, this one, which is a bit awkward. Some kind of mine type scene. Rat. Oh, managed to bite me. A few more monsters coming running in. I'll see what happens on the next. I'll try and get through the next door, and I'll stop the video at the end of that because, you know, I think I've kind of given a. Like I say, it's just sort of demonstrating a bit of a flavour for the game. This one, it's quite fun. I will, like I say, I'll probably do a few more videos about it because I will sort of play it through to the end of the campaign mode, I expect. And I may doubtless, I'm hoping I'll come across some more, you know, some different things. Certainly, I've met some different monsters as I've, you know, continued through the game, pretty much as you'd expect, really. It would be a bit boring if you only ever fought the same monsters. The mazes do seem to be sort of fairly random generated. There doesn't seem to be much of a rhyme and reason to, you know, what you end up doing. My Imperial Captain, unfortunately, he's wearing some very heavy armour, which is great because it keeps him alive. But it does mean he can't do very much. He sort of only gets one hit per turn, and that's the sort of, you know, the sort of comeuppance I could do with what he really needs to do is find some armour that lets him move as quickly while still keeping the armour to keep himself alive. And maybe that'll come in time. Anyway, so my elf, he killed the rats, didn't he? So the rats are all dead. So here we are. So I group my heroes up again before I go through the next door, just to sort of make sense to have them all together. And let's see what's through this next door. So here we go. So the Chaos guy walks up to the door, and the vampire. This is the vampires open the door, and there's the end of the level. So you can see there's the end of the level is where those 4 crosses are. I may as well play to the end of the level, being as that's you know, we're kind of there. There's the 2 minotaurs, however you want to call them, that were mentioned earlier on. As they were the ones I definitely knew I was going to be fighting. Obviously, they're a bit tougher than a lot of the other enemies that I've faced so far. Oh, that wasn't quite what I meant to do. So I'm going to let them, again, I'll let them come to me and give me a chance to soften them up a little bit before they get to me. And then I will probably, once they get to, once he's about there, I'll probably charge him. Because my one hero does get an advantage if he charges, which is this one. So he's going to go in with his special and hopefully give this Minotaur a big sound smack. Yeah, not too bad. Set him on fire because that's what his special magical hammer does. Nice hit there. So you can see the Minotaur's taking a heck of a lot more damage than the other mobs that I've been fighting, which is kind of what you'd expect because they're almost a boss mob. They're not the toughest of mobs, but they're pretty tough. Anyway, he's dead. Hooray! Here comes the other Minotaur. He's gone over to the side. So I'm going to rotate the map again. Let's rotate it the right way, zoom back in. And we're going to hit him with the magical burning hammer again. So he's nicely burning. Obviously, it's good. One of the biggest downsides I've found with the game is that my heroes will just wander through the fire and quite happily set themselves on fire, which is a little bit annoying. You know, if you give them an instruction to move down a corridor and there's fire in the corridor, or not even if sometimes it looks like they actually just walk out of their way to go through the fire. They don't have any sort of intelligence to go around it. Oh, there we are. And you can see that the fire has finished off that Minotaur. And now I can run to the end. So you can sort of see, like, if I take this guy and if I click up here, he'd walk straight through that fire, set himself on fire. So I have to very carefully go around like that. He obviously follows the course of the white dots on the tiles. There we go. You just have to make sure they don't walk in any of the burning tiles, because unfortunately they're stupid enough that they will do so. And then we'll end that turn. So the aim is to have all 4 heroes on these little circle crosses. That marks the end of the level, and when all the enemies are dead. So they are all dead on this one. So there we are. Hooray! And free victory! And I gain experience, as you'd expect, and I get a few items for completing the mission, again, as you'd expect. So I get 2 bags of gold. What's better than 1 bag of gold? You got like that. Unleash pure magic bound within the wicked staff. Dark Energy Staff. So I might have to see if that's better than the staff my my Dark Elf Witch has got already. It might even be the same one, in fairness. But yeah, so we've reclaimed that staff. We've emerged victorious, and it's time to head to the inn and, given your warrior's blood-soaked clothes, perhaps have a bath. Speaking of which, that's actually what I'm going to be doing in a minute, this evening. But there we are. That's a real-world thing, because I've got work tomorrow. Hooray! There we go. So that is sort of the game in a nutshell, really. And you're sort of building up to sort of try and work your way through the story mode. The story dungeons tend to be quite a lot bigger. A lot more rooms, a lot more enemies, a lot more challenging. So as you'd expect, but you can go and farm these ones to sort of strengthen your heroes up before you tackle the more complicated, larger story mode dungeons. And there's some more burning towns and things over there. So there we are. Like I say, I'm going to sort of keep going with it for now. I'm quite intrigued by the game. I'm quite enjoying it. And I'll probably do a few videos on it and how I get on and, levelling up and different skills and what else works. The one thing I have, as I sort of say, found that works fairly well is generally letting quite a lot of the enemies come to you. And then as they get close to you, then you charge them and beat them up, and keeping your heroes all together so they support each other. All kind of common sense things, really. So there we go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As I say, if you're interested in the game, please do let me know. Any more details, or if there's anything you want to ask, by all means, please do. And it just remains for me to say thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to like, share, comment and subscribe, and may death come swiftly to your enemies. Thank you, good night, Hoil Vara, Nostar.